Good morning. Let's read some more from Now We Are Six by A.M. Milne. Copyrighted October 13th, 1927. Journey's End. Christopher, Christopher, where are you going, Christopher Robin? Just up to the top of the hill, upping and upping until I am right on the top of the hill, said Christopher Robin. Christopher, Christopher, where are you going, Christopher Robin? There's nothing to see, so when you've got to the top, what then? Just down to the bottom again, said Christopher Robin. Oops. Oh dear. We skipped one. No, didn't? Yes? Oh, okay. We are at the next one. See? Everyone makes mistakes, and it's okay. Furry bear. If I were a bear, and a big bear too, I shouldn't much care if it froze or snew. I shouldn't much mind if it snowed or frizz. I'd be all fur-lined with a coat like his, for I'd have fur boots and a brown fur wrap, and brown fur knickers and a big fur cap. I'd have a fur muffle ruff to cover my jaws, and brown fur mittens on my big brown paws, with a big brown furry down up to my head. I'd sleep all the winter in a big fur bed. Forgiven. I found a little beetle, so that Beetle was his name, and I called him Alexander, and he answered just the same. I put him in a matchbox, and I kept him all the day, and Nanny let my beetle out. Yes, Nanny let my beetle out. She went and let my beetle out, and Beetle ran away. She said she didn't mean it, and I never said she did. She said she wanted matches, and she just took off the lid. She said that she was sorry, but it's difficult to catch an excited sort of beetle you've mistaken for a match. She said that she was sorry, and I really mustn't mind, as there's lots and lots of beetles which she's certain we could find if we looked about the garden for the holes where beetles hid, and we'd get another matchbox and write "Beetle" on the lid. We went to all the places where a beetle might be near, and we made the sort of noises which a beetle likes to hear, and I saw a kind of something, and I gave a sort of shout, "A beetle house, and Alexander Beetle coming out!" It was Alexander Beetle, I'm as certain as can be, and he had a sort of look as if he thought it must be me, and he had a sort of look as if he thought he ought to say, "I'm very, very sorry that I tried to run away, and Nanny's very sorry, for you know what she did, and she's writing Alexander very blackly on the lid. So Nan and me are friends, because it's difficult to catch an excited Alexander you've mistaken for a match." The Emperor's Rhyme. The king of Peru, who was emperor too, had a sort of rhyme which is useful to know. If he felt very shy when a stranger came by, or they asked him the time when his watch didn't go, or supposing he fell by mistake down a well, or he tumbled when skating and sat on his hat, or perhaps wasn't told till his porridge was cold that his breakfast was waiting, or something like that. Oh, whenever the emperor got into a temper, or felt himself sulky or sad, he would murmur and murmur until he felt firmer this curious rhyme which he had. 8 eighths are 64, multiply by 7. When it's done, carry 1 and take away 11. 9 nines are 81, multiply by 3. If it's more, carry 4, and then it's time for tea. So whenever the queen took his armor to clean, and she didn't remember to use any starch, or his birthday in May was a horrible day, being wet as November and windy as March, or if sitting in state with the wise and the great, he just happened to hiccup while signing his name, or the queen gave a cough when his crown tumbled off, as he bent down to pick up a pin for the same. Oh, whenever the emperor got into a temper, or felt himself awkward and shy, he would whisper and whisper until he felt crisper this odd little rhyme to the sky. 8 eighths are 81, multiply by 7. If it's more, carry 4 and take away 11. 9 nines are 64, multiply by 3. When it's done, carry 1, and then it's time for tea. Knight in armor. Whenever I'm a shining knight, I buckle on my armor tight, and then I look about for things like rushings outs and rescuings, and savings from the dragon's lair, and fighting all the dragons there. And sometimes when our fights begin, I think I'll let the dragons win, and then I think perhaps I won't, because they're dragons, and I don't. Come out with me. There's sun on the river and sun on the hill. You can hear the sea if you stand quite still. There's 8 new puppies at Roundabout Farm, and I saw an old sailor with only one arm. But everyone says, run along, run along, run along. All of them say, run along, I'm busy as can be. Everyone says, run along, there's a darling. If I'm a little darling, why won't they run with me? There's wind on the river and wind on the hill. There's a dark, dead water wheel under the mill. I saw a fly which had just been drowned, and I know where a rabbit goes into the ground. But everyone says, run along, run along, run along. And all of them say, yes, dear, and never notice me. Everyone says, run along, there's a little darling. If I'm a little darling, why won't they come and see? Down by the pond. I'm fishing. Don't talk. Anybody, don't come near. Can't you see the fish might hear? He thinks I'm playing with a piece of string. He thinks I'm another sort of funny sort of thing, but he doesn't know I'm fishing. He doesn't know I'm fishing. That's what I'm doing, fishing. No, I'm not. I'm newting. Don't cough, anybody. Don't come by. Any small noise makes a newt feel shy. He thinks I'm a bush or a new sort of tree. He thinks it's somebody, but doesn't think it's me. And he doesn't know I'm newting. No, he doesn't know I'm newting. That's what